You're watching Oilersnation Radio.
Hello, Friday edition of Oilers Nation Radio. Tyler, Bag Milk, Rick, Dan, Liam, the whole crew is here. And the
Shohei's almost here.
I was going to say, it's not ONR, it's Show NR today.
Pretty close.
He's over the Great
BM
Lakes
had that
right now.
earlier.
I don't know that I've seen Canadian Twitter all as focused on one thing at the same time as we are today.
So
Canadian sports Twitter.
Kawhi got kind of the same attention, but at the same time, it got more.
the Raps aren't as big as them either.
But it got more
wasn't
anti-attention
positive,
too. Like,
yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
stop this, blah, blah, blah. This right now, there is nobody telling you to stop watching the plane. Everyone's sitting there watching the plane right now.
Even Ben Nicholson-Smith, a Sportsnet reporter who's very good at this kind of stuff and has always kind of been, in the fan base at least, a voice that has calmed things down. He was a guy who sent out a tweet and was like, hey, like Jays fans watching the plane, you're not alone. Executives around the league are doing this kind of stuff right now. And like,
Everybody is.
I know a lot of people have tweeted out no decision has been made yet and big name insiders, and that's ultimately who you have to believe. But like at the end of the day, one of the biggest Dodgers reporters in JP Hornstra, a guy who's covered that team for like almost a decade, I think, he's coming out and putting his reputation on the line, saying he's not going to the Dodgers. He's going to the Jays. Sportsnet Radio in Toronto, again, the rights holder of the team.
So short.
They're cutting their hockey show short and going live with Blair and Barker, whose show isn't even a regular thing anymore because it's the
And
off
it's
season.
Literally for Shohei watch. Ohtani watch.
For Ohtani watch,
That's what
and
they're
they're
calling
starting it at 5 p.m. Eastern, which is exactly when Ohtani's plane is expected to land in Toronto. So like there is way too much smoke here for this to not be a legitimate thing that's happening.
It's happening.
I'm a fly on the wall for all of this. I'm not a Blue Jays guy. I've been a baseball and a sports fan for a long time, and I was all the way on the fence, like didn't think that it was going to happen until I heard the fact that it's Japanese Prosperity Day and that this is the day that he signed with the Angels back in 2016.
There's just so much, like, I'm so far down the rabbit hole on Shohei Ohtani Day that I'm believing opera singers out of Toronto talking about sushi reservations downtown. I'm tracking the plane. I've had this live tracker open all day. Now flying over Grand Rapids, Michigan, by the way, just for the record.
At this point, this is no longer like conspiracy thing. Like you're just getting involved in it for the show. This is the show before the show. This is the it's not the Super Bowl. It's the lead up, the 6 hours before. It's done. It's over. It's happening. You can't really announce it because they don't. I guess you don't really know. But
You want him there. You want to announce it with him there putting on a Jays jersey.
yeah.
There was also a little rumor going around that the Jays official shop outside the stadium in Toronto was being covered up in the last couple of days. Again, something you're doing if you're looking to do some sort of grand reveal, right? And there's Ohtani jerseys everywhere in there.
Have there been pictures of
Or-
this? That's something. That's
or
something it's
renovations.
easy to show.
or renovations. Could be
Absolutely
renovations.
Renos. They're
Just-
doing Renos at
yeah.
Rogers Center. It's not like that. Not something
I'm just saying.
All right.
Where did they announce it from?
They would announce it from
They're going to
inside.
announce it.
Are these-
I don't know who said it. I think my
Is-
friend Rick. They're going to announce it as him sitting his legs off the fucking
Yeah.
CN Tower like Drake.
He's doing the little walk around the edge, like, hello. Just waiting for someone to zoom in enough to be like, holy shit, that's him.
Here's what they need to do. They need to
Yeah,
have
been up
Drake.
here for
I don't know where
3 days.
Drake's at right now. Drake hype video. He does like pop star or something like that. And then
Drake's in the-
Shohei comes out. Come on.
Drake's in the studio. He's trying to work on some rhymes. See
The
what
Weeknd's
rhymes are
are like,
Ohtani.
"Ooh."
Can you
Yeah.
imagine if it's like some incredibly pre-produced thing? Like they've very clearly been working on this announcement video for like 2 weeks.
The reason he was here on Sunday was to just get all the dress rehearsal down
Yeah.
and everything ready and squared away.
All right. If something breaks on the Ohtani front, you better believe we're going to be
Don't
talking
worry,
about
I'm
it
on
on this podcast. BM's got the Twitter going,
Tyler's hosting today, so I can
Yeah.
watch a flight.
but we are going to do the regularly scheduled programming as well, which means we begin
We'll see.
with, we'll
For
see,
now. For
with
now.
the delicious debate for our friends at Wendy's. Shohei, you're going to love Canadian Wendy's, buddy. And I know you're going to love the syrup dipidus combo that features the new limited edition chicken strips and French toast sticks in one bite. For those of you dreaming of smoking the competition, head to dailyfaceoffsurvivor.com. Play the Wendy's Daily Faceoff Survivor game. See if you can survive the entire week. See if you can win some prizes. For those of you who have lost out like me, you can still be a winner by ordering that new chicken strip and French toast stick combo from Wendy's and the Wendy's app. The delicious debate today, it's positive, boys. The Oilers have won 5 in a row. I have declared them on Owen every day as officially being back. The
Can I
question.
ask you a question?
Sure.
I tweeted it.
Mhm.
5-game win streak. You're officially back on the bandwagon.
Yes.
What's the number?
88% chance of making the playoffs in my brain.
75.
We're moving.
I guess it's going in the right direction.
We're moving. Join us, boys.
They're
Join
good.
us.
I'm just being
Would you like a
realistic.
T-shirt? A 100 T-shirt?
No, not until it's secured.
Join us. It feels good.
Yeah, all they need to do is catch the Arizona Coyotes
Oh.
somehow about them.
Oh, Liam, get out of here.
Those
Pitch
little
fuck.
devils out in Arizona. The question today, Dan, I'll start with you. What's been the best part of the 5-game heater?
For me, it was the last game against the Carolina Hurricanes, a team that I love to see us beat every time. In a game where the Edmonton Oilers of old and the Edmonton Oilers of the last 3 or 4 years would have probably come out a little bit flatter than what we saw yesterday. A really great effort, put their foot on the throat, and then just kept going and made Brindamore come out with one of the better sound bites that I've heard in a long time, saying that they were going to lose by 50-0.
That would have been awesome if the Oilers would have scored 50.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been
You
something.
don't see that.
Especially if the coach called it ahead of time and then was like, yeah, it happened.
You could probably get him in trouble for that.
That's true. Actually, there would be some collusion
That's
there. probably.
41 games.
What do you think, Liam? Best part of the 5-game heater?
Zach Hyman scoring a hat trick last game.
Hello.
was pretty epic.
And then editor and Leaf finally deleting the tweet.
Did they?
That is,
Which
yeah, they
was-
did actually do it. They
It
deleted
took
it.
Pointless.
2 hat tricks in 2.5 weeks, but we got there.
Got
Zach
this.
Hyman needs 22 goals to have 100 goals for the Edmonton Oilers.
And we're all in agreement. We're going to
Something.
post that every single time Zach scores a goal now.
You got
Oh,
it.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, you got it.
Make sure. Just check it with all
sometimes
the
I'm like, when people get dragged like that for a bad take, I feel bad. But that guy's whole bit is
Yeah.
saying
This is a
outlandish,
foot in the
dumb
ground,
shit.
yeah.
Because he doubled down again yesterday.
Yeah, like you clearly want the smoke,
What did
buddy.
he say?
Yesterday.
And it's not even a personal name. It's editor and Leaf.
Yeah,
So
it's not like some dude with a picture of like him and his kids, and I feel bad. I don't feel bad about this one
What
at
did they
all.
say yesterday?
It just kept going about Bunting being better than him and coming in and replacing him, which Bunting is
Bunting's
now
not
gone.
even there.
Yeah, but they just that doesn't matter to them. It's just the narrative. that
Liam's
they
looking
need.
for it.
Liam's fired
He's
up.
hunting. Look at him. He's hunting this one.
Michael Bunting is what I looked up. Oh, wanted to see how many goals he had.
With the Leafs. He was a suitable replacement because he wasn't making as much money,
Oh,
which
Lord.
is what
happened
happened.
because they didn't keep him.
But then they didn't hold on to him.
He had
Mhm.
23 goals last season. Michael Bunting. Zach Hyman had 36.
He's
Zach
got
Hyman
50
has more points than Austin Matthews this year.
Yeah, boy. Rick, best part of the 5-game heater.
honestly, it's been everything. At the beginning of the year, during the whole slide and whatnot, everything was going wrong. There was not a positive part of the game out there. Luck, offense, neutral zone, defense, goaltending, PK, power play, didn't really matter. Nothing was going right. Now it seems everything's back on track and everything's going right. It's not perfect, but it's never expected to be perfect. But they are back to being where they're supposed to be in every aspect of the game.
Every aspect. Yeah, I mean, over this 5-game heater, you're probably right. There's not a lot to dislike here. They've been, preventing chances. They've been.
They're not perfect, right? So
Yeah,
there's gonna
I
be-
shouldn't
there's
even
gonna be
say
mistakes
preventing
here and
chances. They have cut out a lot of the grade A mistakes, though, and that's encouraging, right?
Yeah.
We haven't had like 3 and 4 breakaways a game.
Yeah.
It just hasn't happened.
Like-
They're still happening, but it's not happening.
Even
as
2-on-1s aren't like happening every period. BM, best part of the 5-game winning streak.
How can nobody say? I've got 2. Can I say 2?
One of them's probably going to be the one I want to say, but you go.
Probably not.
Okay.
Warren Fogle scoring a fucking breakaway
Okay,
goal.
you're right. I did not have that one.
the best
Come on.
part of this winning streak.
He
was
is now,
0 for 2,000.
and now he's 1 for 2001.
Number 2, TNT playing the Gretzky win video we post on Twitter.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my God, that was great. It is fun whenever we get the little nod from a big national broadcaster like
Sucks
that.
that Canadians couldn't see it though.
I know.
Can we
No.
talk to them about covering the Oilers as a whole from going forward?
Well, 'cause, like-
obviously, Sportsnet's done here, really, right? So someone's got to
Well,
come in.
Shohei's getting that money.
Yeah, so someone's got to come in and grab it.
Yeah.
Can we just sell our rights to our games to TNT
Well, 'cause
directly? Like,
Dan made a point earlier, that
Can
quote from
salesman
Rod
Jared do
Brendamore being like, oh, we're going to lose 50. Like, we don't get any of that
No.
on the bench.
Interview with a
Stuff.
coach during the game.
That's a very
Baglook?
American thing.
Yeah.
Like, if
I dig it.
Louis picks things up between the benches, he'll talk about it, but we don't get to talk to the coach.
And even then, he
mid-game.
keeps that tight-lipped because he's worried about
No,
letting
it's,
stuff out there.
it's the player code.
The code, yeah.
Even like the intermissions on those TNT broadcasts, if you ever get a chance to like sneak in and watch them, if you can figure out a way how, or if you're in the States, in Canada, everything feels so pre-produced. It is like, the host being like, hey, give us this take. And then a graphic pops up while they're hands, right? The TNT broadcast is very much like, okay, we got 4 guys that are very interesting here. Let's wind them up and action. And then they just shoot the shit. It's great.
Well, and to that point, Paul Bissonnette went off on hitting during our broadcast, and the Luke Hughes hit, and then they cut him off.
What was his point?
He was just saying that to break it down, it was minor hockey. They just don't teach them enough, and we keep rolling it back further and further. And the players are younger.
15, 16 now by the time you learn how to.
Yeah, he said he was taking a week-long camp in the summer to learn how to get hit. It was about hitting. So for a week, they'd worked on just hitting. This way, when you got to the game, you knew what you had to take care of.
I remember when I was going into Pee Wee, like of course
that was the move for us. That was at our age. Pee Wee was actual contact. Adam was like a little bit of contact here and there, but Pee Wee was when you could actually start.
I remember I went to a AA camp or something like that in the summer leading into Pee Wee, and they spent the first 2 days learning body contact.
Yeah,
whether it was mid ice, against the boards, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Here's my thing.
Fundamentals of playing hockey.
You need to learn how to be hit.
I talked about this with John Bucci-Gross and Colby Cohn today on DFO Live. It's a great hit if you want to go check it out. There's my shameless plug. And we talked about, and Bucci was actually on my side with this and against Biz, where it's like, okay, they were playing the clip of Luke Hughes getting blown up, right? Mm-hmm. And Biz was like, that's just because they aren't teaching them. Okay, but that is true for like the 0.05%, 0.01% of kids who eventually make it to the NHL, right? And have to deal with that into their 20s, never mind like on a consistent basis. The other side of it, and I think the point is, there are it's probably higher than 0.05% kids who have had to deal with concussions when they're 12 years old because they're 85 pounds and have to go up against a kid who hit puberty a year ago and is going to steamroll you. And like, no matter how well you learn how to take body contact, whatever, it's kind of pointless to teach kids when there's that big of a gap. Like bantam, I get behind that because everyone's a little bit closer to the same playing field. Midget, sure. But when it's Pee Wee, man, there's still such a discrepancy there.
But you can take out open ice hits, and you can have just rubouts along the boards,
totally,
and learn how to do that. You learn how to protect yourself along the boards, which is really the biggest issue. Most of these hits that are getting scary and bad aren't necessarily open ice, Scott Stevens on Paul Correa's. They're along the boards where a guy holds up 3 feet, 4 feet away from the boards, leaves himself in a terrible position, and ends up eating the dasher because he put himself in a bad spot.
That's been a thing that's come into the NHL a lot over the last couple of years, where people will just post up 2-3 feet instead of going right into the boards and absorbing it. They want to do like
the reverse hit or whatever.
Stand in the area where you can't hit me because I'm in a dangerous spot.
I liked Luke Gazdik's point on Sportsnet. O&E guest Luke Gazdic
was on this week.
He just kind of said, and I'm paraphrasing, he's like, listen, you got to be aware of who's on the ice too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that too. And again, it's weird to me that it got turned into a conversation about like minor hockey and being taught when to hit. Luke Hughes has been playing college hockey for like 3 years. Dude, if you can't learn to take a hit in that time span, you're just not looking out for yourself.
How many times is a player of his caliber getting hit in that?
Twice this season.
But in college hockey,
he's probably way better than everybody.
He's so much better, right? Like they're not getting. It's kind of like why did Yak not know how to play defense? Because his whole way growing up, he was that damn good offensively. He didn't have to learn, and then when he came to the NHL, he had to learn like pronto, and it's too much to take in at once. Same thing when it comes to hitting.
Yeah. It's just, and I think that the last thing for me is just the fact that like we keep rolling it back and the conversation then ends. And that's the part that bugs me. And you saw it with Biz making his point, the broadcast cuts away. We're not talking about this stuff enough. And it's just kind of quiet. And then somebody's going to get decked and killed. And then we're going to take hitting out of the game.
But that's by people who are like not involved in hockey starting to get involved in hockey. That's why it takes me, and this is completely sidetracked, but this is when all new fans are good fans. I don't agree with that because I don't think you lose some of the of the game, right? So you have all these people in the government's making these decisions who have zero to do with hockey, never played, they didn't had nothing, but they're watching this and going, no, you have to do this now. Well, you don't know. You have not been there. You need to go through those steps in order to understand it.
And that's where I think the conversation just has to continue.
We're gonna step aside, take a quick break. When we come back, the carbon tax up next on it. No, we're gonna keep it away from that.
There is an update.
His plane, is this what it is?
From John Morrissey.
Oh, John Morosi has an update?
Oh no.
Holy crap.
He said sources.
Holy shit.
Shohei Ohtani is en route to Toronto today.
And my buddy Dylan Cardinal, who is tracking the plane, the plane has officially began its descent into Toronto.
Whoa.
Holy shit. John Morosi tweeted that.
Why do you need your buddy? I'm watching it right here, man.
Oh, you got it?
Of course I do. I've been watching this plane all fucking day.
Look, if you weren't excited, you can't be getting more excited now. Like 9 o'clock this morning, when everyone first heard about the plane and everything, that's when it was done. It should have been jacked up at that point.
Oh my god.
Shohei Ohtani could be a Toronto Blue Jay. That means I have to order a jersey today.
I have 3 relatives that aren't on Twitter, and I promised them I would continue to hit them with updates. So don't mind me while I text my dad and others.
By the way, if you're listening to this, David Quadrelli, and I know you are not allowed to fucking cheer for Shohei Ohtani as a Toronto Blue Jay. The amount of shit you doled out about the Seattle Mariners over the last handful of years, you're not welcome here.
What was he saying?
Oh, well, when the Jays went up against the Mariners in the playoffs.
Oh, is he a Mariners guy?
He's a Mariners guy.
He's probably not even a fan.
Oh my
Mariners.
Oh, yeah, he pretends he's not a fan.
Well, those West Coast fans are only fans when things are good. And when things
course.
go badly, ooh.
Okay, so Morosi says at the end of the tweet, sorry, Liam, I totally bulldozed you there. But he says at this hour, Ohtani does not have a signed agreement with any MLB team.
Of course, they're gonna video it. He's gonna sign it on
He's
camera.
gonna sign on camera fucking rights, man. It's showtime,
Yeah,
baby.
come on. That's not been fucking pre-signed.
Tyler, you gotta refresh our Ohtani boy jerseys.
They're gonna sign it from the on like the back of a tractor on Rogers Field.
You know what I need to see
right now? He's got a hard hat on.
Yeah.
I need to see a picture of Shohei walking off the PJ.
Real life listeners will enjoy this interaction I've just had. I sent my dad a screenshot of that Morosi tweet saying that Shohei is en route to Toronto. But my dad's response, who knows? Sure.
Dad's been hurt before.
Yeah. He knows.
He's got some scar tissue.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. We got really derailed there.
Yeah.
My biggest part of this 5-game heater, let's be honest, guys. Stuart Skinner has a 940 something save percentage.
If you think that's more important than Warren Fogle scoring on a breakaway, you are out of your mind.
But it goes hand
Like-
in hand with playing better in your defensive
They
zone.
play,
Why?
and you also, you know what? And you can't, to Tyler's point, you can't say that they're only playing bad teams here.
Who have they played? Carolina.
Carolina, Washington, Vegas, Anaheim, and I don't remember the fifth one.
Seattle.
No,
Winnipeg.
Winnipeg. Yeah.
Right. And he was very good against Winnipeg.
He
too.
outdueled Connor Hellebuck. against
Yeah,
Winnipeg.
he did. Yeah, those are 4 really good teams.
Stomped the Carolina Hurricanes. I know the boys put up 6, but still, he only allowed 1. And the goal he allowed in that game, what are you going to do?
3-on-1.
What are you going to
And he
do?
almost had it.
He did.
The Vegas game is the only one in that stretch where he wasn't at his best. But
Those 2 goals in the
also,
third were tough.
I think it was the third one is the one I would have liked for him to have it back. We'll cut that. And then
We won't.
and then the fourth one is just like that tip from Colasar. It's like,
Yeah.
why is no
There's
one
nothing you can
defending
do.
that guy? So he's been unbelievable, and the reason why the Oilers probably aren't as active in the goalie market as maybe they were 2 weeks ago.
We're going to talk about that a little bit later on. Just quickly, some numbers. At 5-on-5 over the course of this 5-game winning streak, no team has prevented scoring chances against at 5-on-5 better than the Edmonton Oilers. Shots against per 60 at 5-on-5. The Oilers have the 8th best mark in Major League Baseball in the NHL. You can tell I got Shohei on the brain today, folks.
We're going to show Ronto.
So they have cleaned things up a little bit. And one of the reasons why outside of the office is outside of our studio is going nuts too.
Yeah.
Oh my
We've
god,
got Shohei fever at the office today.
we do. And little tease here, there may be a shirt dropping when this thing goes down as well on nationgear.ca.
All the idea people are sitting here.
Let's give some credit to Matthias Ekholm and Evan Bouchard. And that's a pairing that really struggled early in the season. Ekholm is looking healthy now, BM, and Bouchard has cut out the grade A mistakes.
That
He's getting confident.
so the thing with I want to start with Ekholm because this is what I said on the lowdown with Low Tide yesterday. He looks like the guy we acquired at the deadline. You know, he missed the preseason and training camp. He had some kind of injury. We should have known it was going to take him a minute to get up to speed. And now he's back there. And he looks like the vacuum he was for us down the stretch last year. Then he's also adding the offensive flair because Paul Coffey's got a little mojo in the boys right now. The goal he scored the other night was a great play.
Yeah.
That was
Drove to the far crease. McDavid, ridiculous. Hit him. Tap in goal.
See, that's great though, because they're forcing the other team to really pay attention to how our players are moving in the defensive zone. If they can't just stand there all static, like expecting us to stand along the perimeter. someone has to watch Ekholm and probably swap it off halfway down and change your coverage. And you one little mistake, you're wide open on the doorstep for it.
Yeah, a lot of movement now in the offensive zone, which is very difficult to play against when you kind of play almost positionless too. It's kind of like basketball, right?
You've seen the way these guys can rotate with the puck.
Yeah,
cycle the puck along the blue line. They're very confident.
It's impressive. Shout out Mark Stewart.
Hey, the PK is I think
solid.
I think it's the best PK in the NHL over this 5-game heater. And again, using that as a benchmark is a little off because obviously the numbers are going to be good. They're winning those 5 games. But still, it just shows that the Oilers are doing, I think on the surface, it's like, hey, Connor McDavid is averaging like 3 points a game. Okay, you're going to win a lot of games when that happens. Stuart Skinner, 943 or whatever over the 5 games. Yes, you're going to win a lot of games when one player is almost single-handedly producing 3 goals a game and a goalie is stopping 94% of the shots he faces. But the PK, the blue line, the cut down on the grade A mistakes, there is a lot more to it.
Contributions throughout the lineup.
The Oilers have had 13 different goal scorers find the back of the net.
Ryan McLeod, back-to-back games with goals.
Finally beat a goalie.
28 seconds apart.
I know a lot of people were kind of shitting on him a little bit because the first goal he got was in an empty net, but like sometimes you just need that one. You need it to go.
Yeah, dude, he went right to the net.
Just to feel the relief, one on the board.
See, I don't even think he felt that. Like they were giving that.
Had to.
They were giving it to him, and I think he's like, he knew he had to get like that second one. The first one really means nothing. When you get the second one,
Yeah, I disagree.
then you're like better.
I disagree. I just think the first one is just as important, empty net or not.
It
You
is
got to
important,
know
but
you can put the puck in the
personally,
net.
he's not sitting there patting himself on the back. He's like,
No,
okay,
no,
good.
no,
That's
I'm
one.
not
That's
saying
one.
that.
Now let's get going
Just
here.
on the human side, though, I just think that there's like the
Yeah, you grip the stick.
Exhale.
All right, Rick, quiz time. Rapid fire. Can you give me the 13 Oilers who have found the back of the net throughout the course of this winning streak? Go.
Oh, the winning streak?
Over the
Connor,
5-game winning streak.
Leon, Kane, Hyman, Clowder, Fogel, Nurse, Ekholm, Bush.
we kept him forever.
Oh yeah, Nuge.
3 more.
3 more.
All forwards.
Yeah, I was gonna say no more defensemen in there.
Sammy?
Yeah,
Sam.
Gagne's got one.
Hamlin.
Hamblin.
Janmark?
Janmark. There we go. Good job,
Yeah.
everybody.
Happy
Great work.
birthday.
Yeah, Janmark. Happy birthday, Matthias Janmark. He had that one where, like, I talk about it on the podcast a lot. I love greasy goals. And Janmark's goal where it bounced off goalie, bounced off him in the net.
Perfect.
Beautiful to me.
That's how
They
those
don't
guys
end up on the
score.
highlight reel, but fuck, are those sexy to me.
Yeah.
And the Oilers are scoring more greasy goals like that. They're getting to difficult areas. So they're combining some nice skill. Like Connor walking the defenseman on Hyman's hat trick goal the other night. Ridiculous. What can you do with that?
That wasn't any defense. Was that not the Burns one? Or was Burns the other one?
It might have been the other one.
Because he walked Brent Burns, and then
He
handed it
smells
off.
like cheese.
Yeah, and then he handed off and Slavin. I don't know what Slavin was, but he couldn't stop him. 2 of the best defense or 2 really good defensemen, and Connor walked him like pylons.
So, like, there's no way there's not a plane on the or a camera on the tarmac, right?
Of course there is.
Of course there is going to be. Like, I can't wait to see all of the
CP24 or
angles.
something like that.
We are probably a handful of minutes away from seeing countless weird photos from across the building of
dude.
Shohei Ohtani.
TMZ is there, or is TMZ in Canada?
Yeah, TMZ.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dun, dun, dun.
All right. There you go. That is your delicious debate for Wendy's and the daily face-off Survivor game. Anybody still in
Is
it?
No, I was
No.
out on day 2.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
on day 1.
I've never made it past day 2.
I made day 3 as my that's my Everest.
And if you want to know just how difficult it is, 826 people were in on day 1. Only 30 are remaining here heading in to what'll be day 4 on Saturday and your chance to win Wendy's prizes. Last week, there were only 7 people who survived out of the 800 plus. One of them was my brother-in-law. So congratulations to Kelly.
It's funny because the first time I looked at it, I'm like, it can't be that hard. But knowing those numbers right there, that's insane.
I also think it's kind of gotten more difficult. I feel like the picks are more 50-50. Like that first week, there were some that were like layup. But granted, what do I know?
Yeah, that's too easy.
Haven't made it very far.
So when Shohei Ohtani signs,
we'll go back
Go
to
ahead.
that.
Let's talk about that.
How long is the contract going to be? Are we
10
talking? How
years.
long can you?
My
Mike
prediction-
Trout got 12 years.
My prediction is 12 years, $575 million.
Is that the max?
Woo, mama.
Years.
There's no
No,
max.
there's no max. But
Baseball.
12 takes into what? 41?
What if
Fuck
they
yeah.
sign like 20 years?
They're going to sell that many jerseys tomorrow.
Oh
Just
my
kidding.
God. That'll be the number 1 Christmas present in Canada, right?
I'm buying one immediately.
Yeah, it's gonna be a piece of paper that says.
I wanted
more news.
It's gonna be a
Go
piece
ahead.
of paper that
If
says
you
your
read
jersey's
the
on
one I
way.
think you're gonna read,
Robert Bortuzzo traded to the Islanders for a 7th.
Oh, you rascal.
you're gone,
Liam
Bortuzzo.
Baum.
The
So,
plane is over Kitchener, Ontario.
oh my God, it's right
So
there.
the Yankees are officially out of it now, right?
Yes, the plane is north of the border. Everyone else is out. Why were the Oilers not in on Robert Bortuzzo? He's not that good.
He's
We don't need him.
39.
34.
Wow.
Does that mean St. Louis is starting to sell off their assets?
It's
Though?
inflation,
I actually do think the Blues are going to probably begin some sort of sell-off here.
Anybody we want from the Blues?
Listen, I know a lot of people listening. I'm like, Colton Parayko. He's not the Colton
big.
It's
Parayko.
not Colton from before.
He's not the same old Colton Parayko.
And that deal is sizable.
I don't see
Yeah.
a D-man there that I like. Like, I'm not a big Justin Fault guy.
Let's
No.
follow down the rabbit hole. I'm thinking of the Philip Broberg got sent to the Condors.
Thank goodness.
Still the trade kind of
Before,
talk
but do you like moving Broberg now and keeping Kulak there, or do you go more towards what Frank was saying the other day and look at moving Kulak, bringing Broberg in? They're
No.
figuring out the Broberg thing.
Mm-mm.
Find yourself a 7th and having money to play with.
But
I
what if
would-
that doesn't work?
Yes.
Bang
Kulak
on.
is
Why are you
today
always so negative?
Because I'm being realistic.
because today on December 8th, I think your point is going to be Brett Kulak is objectively better than Philip Broberg.
You know what you got.
We just,
And the
we
Oilers-
don't know. We do not know what Broberg
They
is.
don't need any more experiments. I like Broberg. I think he's got a future in the NHL. I hope it's with Edmonton. But I would, if they had done this over the summer, I think it would have been more acceptable.
Yes, right
But
now
you can't do it right now.
in the shadow of what that start was, I think it's still too.
Yeah,
dangerous.
you can't. This isn't learn on the job mode.
No, unfortunately for him. But again, there's a 1 injury away from Broberg being in the top
Exactly. So,
6.
like,
2.
You can hold him for a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree with
You
that.
think Ben Gleason plays, or is he just eating popcorn?
He's just here to eat
Popcorn.
popcorn and
Fucking right.
enjoy being an NHLer for a little bit.
Take some of
Amen.
those paychecks.
Of course.
Yeah.
Got him.
Let's dig into the Broberg thing a little bit. We got the news earlier this week from Frank that his agent has permission to go around and find a new team if he wants. It makes sense. Like, seeing it at first, I think we were all a little bit like, whoa. And then what I said earlier was you kind of stop and think and go, oh yeah, okay. Like, he probably sees that the left side is loaded still for the next couple of years. He knows playing time is going to be hard to come by. He wants a fresh start somewhere where he's going to get more opportunity. From an Oilers perspective, I think you sit there and go, yeah, hey, go out there. If you're his agent, call around. If there's a team who loves you, we'll do business with them. We're not going to hold you back from this. But again, you need to be careful not to sell low on a guy.
That's what it is.
How do I word this? The Oilers need to lock them down in Bakersfield and think, what is going on? How do we have a former first-round pick who can't even break into our top 6 right now?
That's not necessarily a bad thing though, because it's not
No,
like
it
it's not like his lack of. It's not because of his bad play. It's because there's 6 players ahead of him.
Which is also bad because he was the 8th overall pick, and the Oilers have.
Yeah, but he's always going to be. I can't remember exactly what they said he was going to be. He was going to be like a long-term plan or whatever the hell they said. That should have meant 5-6 years afterwards before you can like have him on your team comfortably. I know he's a number 8, but he was taken at number 8 as a bit of a project because they felt like his upside was so big. So you got to look at him almost like a late first-round pick at that
Tyler
time
Briggen?
in terms of timeline to make the team.
The Toronto Blue Jays have scheduled a press conference for 6 p.m. Eastern.
Who tweeted that?
It's,
Our friend Adam Seaborn.
Oh my God.
it's happening.
He won't be able to get there with rush hour.
Dude, you don't think they have a helicopter to pick him up? Do they do that in Toronto?
I'm
Did
sure
Did
they-
Siebes actually
I'm
tweet
sure they
that?
shut down
See-
the entire.
Adam Seaborn, our boy. The Jays have a presser at 6 p.m. Eastern.
They're just gonna do it from the airport, and he's gonna get back on the plane. Thank guys, I got a place to be.
Shohei Ohtani
Sorry, I gotta.
is
Gotta
coming
tell
to
Dad.
Toronto.
He's gotta tell Dad.
Yeah, sorry, I gotta tell my dad. This,
I just also secured something that I'm very excited about. So
this
good day.
This is, again, I'm sorry because it's an Oilers podcast, and there are probably a chunk of you that could not give less of a shit about this.
Let me
This
explain
is
why.
Yeah, go.
I think that I'm the person to do this. Tyler loves the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah.
As a newer fan of the Jays and actually like really paying attention
Mhm.
and getting a chance to go watch Shohei play with the Angels the last couple of years, I think this is one of those situations where, yes, it's going to help the Blue Jays team now and for the next handful of years. But it's also going to grow the game of baseball within this country in a massive way. Like when Vince Carter was playing for the Raptors, and now you see all these kids getting drafted into the NBA that were inspired by Vince Carter playing for the Raptors. We're going to see that now in baseball as well.
There'll be that turn for sure.
And Shohei Ohtani is, he's going to be one of the best hitters in baseball. He's going to be one of the best pitchers when he's back to pitching. But on a more macro level for this country, it's going to really elevate the Jays brand and just why kids should be interested in this sport. I think that's really cool cultural impact that, he's going to make the $600-700 million and Tyler's smiling like he's like a Cheshire cat right now. But ultimately, I think that for the sports in this country, this is going to be a massive move if this actually closes. Tyler, would you agree with that?
This is the most significant off-field, off-ice moment in Canadian sports history. Right?
Yes, this is bigger than Kawhi.
Kawhi was and Kawhi didn't happen. Oh, I guess the initial trade here, but like the re-signing didn't happen.
Kawhi
no, that's fair.
To play in Toronto. Shohei is picking to play in Toronto.
Yeah, that's fair. But the biggest transaction before this would have been Kawhi. The one before that would have been, and I'm not sure off the top of my head, would have been hockey related though, obviously. And basketball and baseball are just globally larger than hockey, therefore it becomes a bigger deal.
I think that it sets the table for something massive. I don't know necessarily if the signing is going to do it just as much as I think a season or two of Shohei doing his thing in this city and really showing people that skill. Because I think casual baseball fans in Canada maybe don't even necessarily understand what they have in a Shohei Ohtani until he starts doing it.
Let me put it a different way.
I think he's at a point in his career where everybody knows, because of the fact he does play the two positions, because of the fact he's so good at both. I think it's taken. I think you have to be very small fan to no fan to not know about.
I just want to explain it a different way for Oilers fans who may not be like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Picture Connor McDavid. He is the best player on earth. We all agree with it. And now he's also the best goalie on earth. And just sometimes he goes in net and he shuts the other team out, and that's what he does. But with Shohei, sometimes he does both in the same game.
Kind of crazy.
Won't be this year.
Not this year, of course.
I just think it's cool too, because you have a Japanese superstar in a Canadian city, and now this city could dominate an American sport. Like that's the global reach.
We've fucking won that thing twice already.
Hey, listen.
But I'm saying
the Jays have more championships since 1992 than the fucking Dodgers do.
Hell yeah. All right. Quickly, I want to tell everybody about a new collection hitting Nation Gear. It is our varsity collection.
Toronto.
Bring on the team spirit. Yeah, you know what? It might be a bit of a double launch day. First off, the varsity collection is dope. You can go check it out now, nationgear.ca. There's this sleek, ON crew neck sweater. It looks very, very cool. And this off-white Oilers Nation hat. They both look awesome. Check it out now. Also, there may be a Shohronto coming up at some point as well. So keep it locked on nationgear.ca. Liam, let's get to who delivered for today. It's delivered by our friends at DoorDash.
Ding dong.
Ding dong. For a limited time, our Canadian listeners can get 25% off and zero delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter the code NATION25. That's 25% off up to a $10 value and zero delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter the code NATION25.
Tyler, I just got some news. I wish I could push every button on the Roadcaster all at the same time.
Is that your who delivered? Is life?
Yep.
Dan, who delivered for you?
I got to give it to Stu Skinner. His just like the confidence. I think Tyler, you posted about it or mentioned it on a show. Like that confidence in that Carolina game, he had swagger, which I don't think we've seen from him this year and even into last year. So for me, it's going to be Stewie giving us a great bunch of efforts here in this win streak.
Great. Fantastic.
Yeah, he's been very good. Who delivered for DoorDash for me?
Just on Stu for a sec. The thing I really liked about his last game against Carolina, he was so quiet in the net.
Mm-hmm.
Square to the shooter, next to no rebounds. Glove was dialed in.
Yep.
It was rock solid goaltending.
Everything is working. That's why
everything was working.
Liam, who you got? Who delivered?
Who delivered?
Ross Atkins.
Shohei's plane is Well, going down in Toronto.
Yeah,
as
Ross
we
Atkins did.
Well, you're gonna say landing.
landing.
Sorry, careful how you say that.
Yeah, my apologies.
Going down.
Did you not hear what was said outside that door?
Don't say stuff like that.
I was like, it's going down like the Kesha song. I'm yelling timber. Come on.
I'll say McLeod. Big
Bang
goal.
look live watching the play.
Are you no longer trying to run him out of town?
I never run him out of
Oh,
town.
Rick. Jesus. And you were doing your old thing on Twitter about like no room on the bandwagon for people who
That's
jumped
true.
off. We had
100%.
to talk you off a ledge like a month ago, bro.
Yeah, and I said I was not losing anything. I was not getting off the bandwagon, but mentally I was drained. And
Tired of you.
everything was going
Come
wrong
He
at
was
that time.
down in the
You stole my
I
co-performer of the week.
specified every single and I was always 100% on the playoffs.
You stole my
Brian
co-performer.
McLeod.
Tyler.
Yep, that was big.
2 big goals.
Uh-huh.
Holy moly. This is the most real life ONR podcast I've ever been a
Listen.
part of in my entire
Combo.
life.
I don't understand.
With a little Blue Jays Nation.
We've
We're
discussed
doing
so
some
much-
cross promo with
Brandon
Blue Jays
Stubb.
Nation Radio.
There is a new episode of Blue Jays Nation Radio that dropped this morning, largely irrelevant now.
Are you going to do an emergency one?
Yeah, probably.
Can I be on it?
Yeah, if we do it at the office, I mean, no matter where we do it, actually, yeah, we could definitely do
Please?
something.
Thank you.
Okay, let's dig into.
I feel
It's
like
Rick.
I made
Rick,
a fair point about Shohei's impact on Canadian baseball, and you just let me hang there.
no, I thought it was a good point. I had nothing to add. Rick,
Oh, it's Boosh. He's got a 9-game point streak, doesn't he
Yeah,
not?
12 points in 9 games.
Let's go. Yeah, he's a massive part of this team. And you know what? I'm going to have a lot of fun having near the end of this year when both Bush and Nurse are mentioned in not the top 3, but mentioned in Norris candidate. There's going to be one guy in this office. He might just sit in his office the whole time when he starts talking
it's
about
going to
that.
be it's going to
But
be
they're
tough.
both going to get mentioned in it. And it's going to you sit back with a smile on your face.
BM, who delivered?
FlightTrader24.com. This fucking
Sucking
website. This plane is now being tracked by 20,000 people live. I have had this thing open all day just because, first of all, I find it fascinating how many planes are just above us at all times.
Terrifying.
It is wild.
Chemtrails.
Over on the West Coast,
Just is ridiculous.
you couldn't see the ground. I was like, what
and
is
I know
happening?
that these are not to scale, obviously, or else these are massive fucking planes. But still, the point that there's all these airplanes just dipping and diving around us with helicopters mixed in, and some of them look like spy planes. Are they drones? What's going on
There's
here?
something in there.
Plane landed, by the way. So, FlightTrader24.com. You've been delivering all day for the entire country of Canada.
Oh,
I'm a big fan of how upset some people below the border are going to get.
yep.
Just to your point there, Bag Milk, the most flights in one day is 134,000 flights operated in one single day, with 20,000 flying over North America at the same time.
20,000 planes. That's
Like-
insane.
No, I don't accept that.
I'll be taking the bus from now on.
Yeah, what if they all fell down?
It
at the
really
same time?
is. Well,
Yeah, that
would
was
you be-
January 1st, 2000.
you'd be
Yeah.
watching them all go down on Flight Tracker.
Oh no! All my yellow planes turn red.
Adam Seaborn's tweet, which was sent out 10 minutes ago, has 500 retweets already and
In 10 minutes.
102,000 impressions.
My boy Siebes, though, he's dialed in.
Seaborn, can you drop a link to Owen every day, just like right below that? Like
Yeah.
more here.
This is Ohtani every day.
Do we have a Kennedy's quote game today?
We
I
do.
hope so.
All right, we're going to step aside for a quick break, everybody. When we come back, we'll have Kennedy here for her quote game. All right, welcome back into the pod. It is time for Kennedy's quote game, which is brought to you by our favorite pre- and post-game spot in Edmonton, Greta. They got games, they got beer, they got booze, they got great food as well. Everything is happening at Greta. After a big win, it's your spot. Getting ready to head down to the game, it is your spot. And this weekend, it may be the spot to celebrate Shohei. Hello. Kennedy's here with the quote game. We got 6 quotes lined up.
We
and
swear this is an Oilers podcast, by the way.
today it is not. This is Show-NR Radio.
Everything. We cover sports.
Yeah. All right, Kennedy, we got 6. Let's fly through this thing because Shohei Ohtani could be signing at any minute.
Any minute. Okay, let's go. Number 1. Can you believe it? The Edmonton Oilers won a hockey game last night.
I'm rusty. I haven't played this in like a few
That
weeks, I
could-
think.
And like that one's very generic.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I think I nailed it.
Well, I was healthy scratch last week, so I had time to look.
Oh, aggression. I like it.
Mhm. All right, number 2. Well, the first thing is the jersey toss.
First thing is the
Number 3, you need to stay away from the Luch type of contracts. Number 4, you don't throw a pizza up the middle when you're on a PTO. Number 5, sometimes you have to have a hard conversation at work, Gary.
What?
And they said Gary at the end.
Gary.
No, I have
It
too
was
many.
SpongeBob. Number 6, he was born in a hospital, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I don't know
man.
who that one is.
Locked them all in. 6 for 6 today, I think.
0.
I'm in O for today. I have no confidence in any of these. I feel rusty.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm upset.
You got Ohtani on the mind.
I'm thinking Shohei.
You wrote down Shohei for every answer, didn't you?
My Shoner is showing.
All right, let's get through our results.
Okay, number 1, the quote was, "Can you believe it? The Edmonton Oilers won a hockey game last night." BM, I'll start with you.
I said it was me.
I said Rick.
Said Tyler.
I said myself.
I have Liam.
And here's the quote.
Together, huddled together. Chris is on my lap. Share the warmth. Evan's on Chris's lap. It's nice. It's really nice. Boys, can you believe it?
Wow.
The Edmonton Oilers won a hockey game last night.
Wow.
Yeah, we're
Decade of
Someone
darkness.
very young in the
That
old
is-
clip. It's very entertaining.
That's
Cam was on this
That
podcast.
is
so this
Chris
is like,
and Evan.
That is a Coom and a Chris and an Evan.
Wow.
Evan, when did Evan work here?
That was
That was before me.
1987.
That was like 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, that would have been 2018,
You went
2019.
way back.
That was still during the not the decade, not quite, but man,
Okay,
good for you.
That's gonna be like season 1, season 2.
Yeah.
throwback. Number 2. Well, the first thing is the jersey toss. BM.
Dan,
I said Dan.
I said BM.
I said BM.
I have me by default. I know it's not me.
Here's the quote.
a lot going on in that third period. A lot of negativity. What stood out to you from Tuesday's loss?
Well, the first thing has to be the jersey toss.
Is that Dan?
This
Yeah.
man.
It was a different era of Dan. That was deeper then.
all of a sudden, old Bag Milk's 2 for 2 on
There you
the
go.
OG Oilers Nation Radio takes.
Number 3.
Number 3.
So am I even on this one?
Wait.
We'll see.
Just wait.
You'll see it. It's actually Shohei. Anyways, number 3. You can stay away from the Luch type of contracts.
I got Rick.
I guessed Liam.
I said Rick.
Rick.
Me.
I would only call him Mr.
Yes.
Lucic still right there.
And exactly, and that's where I'm coming from, right? Like, you don't want to get involved with that. You need to stay away from the Luch type contracts.
The giveaway there is that Rick called him Luch. I don't think any of us would call him Luch.
No,
See, I was trying. Whatever. I
I
heard
suppose.
you say Luch before.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, Rick's a very, you're more likely than anybody to go nickname, I think.
Yeah, some out there for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, noted.
There's certain words out there and wait,
Noted.
just like the same with you, BM. There's certain things out there that you're like, that's him.
Number 4, you don't throw a pizza up the middle when you're on a PTO.
I
Liam?
said bag milk.
I said BM too.
BM.
I have BM.
Here's the quote.
He's like on his ELC. He's trying to extend.
You don't throw a pizza up the middle when you're on a PTO. You,
Wow.
Tyler.
pizza
Surprise.
pie. I do have leftover pizza for lunch.
I'm out of it tonight.
Attaboy.
Alrighty, number 5. Sometimes you have to have a hard conversation at work, Gary. Who'd we all put down?
I had Tyler, but now I don't feel
I
confident.
said Tyler as well.
I said Dan.
Dan.
I have BM.
Here's the quote.
Well, if we wait one more year, think about the revenue and all the other BS that comes with it.
Sometimes you just gotta have a hard conversation at work. Gary.
I said Tyler.
Gary.
Oh, now my next one's screwed too. Damn it.
Well done.
Alrighty.
I don't remember saying that 20 years ago.
True. 2013. Already number 6. This could be anybody. He was born in a hospital, I believe. BM.
That's so stupid. I'm saying me.
I said Liam.
Said Liam.
I have Liam.
I said Liam.
There it is. There it is.
Trophies
It wasn't-
anyways.
15 years in the league?
Well, 2008.
When's he born?
We got some Rio
2010.
Remchuk Liam math going on
When's
here.
he
So
born?
2000, he was born in a hospital, I believe.
That's an all-time Liam quote.
Happy I say that. 2 for 6. I'll take it.
Out of you boys, what do we get? Where are we at?
Well, I
2
think
for
Tyler
6.
had the same answer, so I also went for 2 for 6.
2 for 6. Wow.
We should really
50-50. 3 for 6 or all bag milk.
How long have we been
Bag
doing
milk
this
takes
game
it.
for now? Probably a few months.
I'm building out a spreadsheet to see on aggregate who does well, but I also don't want to.
So it's not began yet.
I don't know, but I have a feeling I know who.
Yeah, I definitely have the highest record.
Yeah.
I don't know. BM's kind of up there too.
It ain't me.
I am not up there.
Well, thanks, boys.
Good job, Kennedy.
Thank you, Kennedy. There you go. Kennedy's quote game brought to you by Greta this weekend, whether you're celebrating a big dub or you're celebrating a big signing.
Do we have a show
Game today?
update?
No,
Do we
no
have an
update.
update?
Game today. Go down to Greta. Have yourself something to eat and drink. Pop on over to the old barn.
Yep.
Go watch the boys.
Greta,
I'm going to scour Twitter for a picture of this handsome gentleman. Brett Holden, who works for us here at Nation HQ, he's keeping track of ticket prices for the home opener. And I think this one is very interesting. In the span of only today, up in the 500 levels.
High as you can get at Rogers.
You're sitting in space. They've moved from $23 to $120 per ticket.
And it was like 94 like 3 hours ago because I saw that tweet from like a couple hours ago.
Oh my God.
Rusty the Reckless Optimist, our good old pal, whose birthday is today, I believe. So
Happy birthday, Rusty.
Tweeted at 2:37 p.m., which was 2 minutes ago. I'm fully expecting today's episode of the O&R podcast to be an Ohtani Watch podcast. Well, I hope you've enjoyed it so far.
Expectations exceeded.
Okay, well then let's
Got
talk
a little
some
bit of
sports.
everything in here.
Let's talk some Oilers.
Big game tonight. First
Minnesota
off,
Wild.
Yeah.
Going for the 6th in a row.
Yeah.
What I hope that the Oilers do is just like they did against Carolina the other day. Remember that the Wild embarrassed them in their last meeting. I want to see another start like that. Pedal to the floor. And I know I'm not going to probably get 2 goals in the opening minute, but pedal to the floor for full 60.
Well, I wanted to talk about that a little bit in what impressed me or what was the best part of the 5-game winning streak. That first 41 seconds kind of was, if we're being honest. Like, how many times have we seen the Oilers come out flat in big games
For years.
in situations like that? Years, almost a decade, man. And to see them coming off a break at a point where it's like, okay, can they keep the momentum going? My key to victory was Stuart Skinner standing on his head in the first 10 minutes because my brain is trained to think the Oilers will come out flat.
He actually did that because he was so damn bored. He was just trying to do something. He was doing handstands, but no one's looking down there because the puck is at the other end.
That start was incredible. And if you can do that again, and if that can become a trait of this team moving forward, oh my God, will they be at another level?
Yeah, they've actually had pretty good starts throughout the year. Right, like you look back at like that 3-game losing
one
streak
shot would end up in the net, and it would
they just
derail
screwed
it
themselves by erasing their own leads because they haven't been able to hold it. So tonight again, they need to come out, and I agree, BM, like prove that game against Minnesota back in October, whenever it was not who this team actually is. And I don't think they were. I think that game was that was the signature Evan Bouchard game, if we all remember. So for me, again, I said this for the Carolina game.
Signature in the opposite way of where he's at right now.
Not a good way, yeah. So I think the Oilers need to pummel them, like score 5 goals again.
Special teams need to be dialed in.
But they've done it 3 games in a row now where they've scored 5 goals.
But that's just it. Their biggest obstacle is not another team. Their biggest obstacle is themselves. There's 3 to 4 to 5 teams out there that should be able to play with them. The rest of them should not have a chance if they go in there, play their game their way. They're doing it right now. They're doing their best to make up for the beginning. And
I have video of Shohei Ohtani in the Toronto airport.
Is it this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. If that's legit, I don't know if it is.
Of course he's there.
I like how Rick was just making a really good point.
This is bigger than myself.
The Shohei watch.
This is a global issue.
Yeah.
This is a
Is that what
global
we
issue.
just say about Oilers?
I really hope the Oilers win tonight.
Yep.
They will. They will. This team is different right now.
I'm gonna go outside, do a shotgun for Shohei.
People were really upset at our last episode because we had nothing to talk about because it was in the middle of that lull and we were just kind of spitting. And now we are talking.
Listen, I will send you pictures of my Shoner. It is 2.5 inches of fury. And I will also send you a refund on this podcast.
Blue Jays today has over 4,000 people watching them live. They're
just riffing,
waiting.
Yeah,
like, everyone's just waiting for this.
I don't know why everyone's just not taking a break. They know it's coming at 4 o'clock our time. They've already announced the press conference.
Well, they haven't. Seaborn sent it out and then said, "Rumor mill's hot." Classic Siebes.
So is it happening?
Who knows? He's in Toronto, though. He's there.
Yeah, it's
like you don't fly to Toronto unless you're signing in Toronto, right?
Is there a Drake concert tonight? No, then yeah, for sure.
What a crazy.
Drake should be giving him a concert at the airport.
He might be right now. He may have.
He should walk out to Celine Dion singing,
Mm.
and then he like continues on the weekends there. Gradually, Avril Lavigne shows up.
What is
Eventually, Drake.
Right before he walks
the
in
grand finale. Sorry, Rick. Justin Bieber, and then Austin.
Ooh.
You can see Justin Bieber push Austin Matthews to the side. Say,
This is my new best friend.
Sorry, Austin. I got a new guy now, and it's showtime, baby.
What is the first Drake bar that involves Ohtani? I'm thinking something like
It's gonna say showtime.
I got Toronto in me.
No, it's gonna
I'll
say
always
Shoronto.
choose the
He's
six
gonna
like
take-
Ohtani.
Yeah,
That works.
He's gonna have a Shoronto line in there after he sees our shirt.
And he'll rock it at a concert.
Fucking right.
Don't you have his address? Send him some
Yeah,
stuff.
just go lob it over the fence.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Aubrey. Thanks
Yep.
for the plug.
See, if you put Aubrey on there, he'd be like, "Oh, this person knows me. It's not the Drake thing. This is
Yeah.
personal."
Yeah. Put Jimmy on there.
Mhm.
Oh, Degrassi fan. All right, let's get to Hot and Cold Performers. It is brought to you by Alberta Blue Cross. There's only one thing better than sitting around sharing memories, and it's making new ones. Alberta Blue Cross and their fantastic travel insurance. They've got you covered no matter where your travel takes you. ab.bluecross.ca/travel. Hey, maybe your travel is taking you to Phoenix in February with us on the latest nation vacation. Head to nationgear.ca now and give the gift of a nation vacation this holiday season. For just $19.99, you can send your favorite fan on the trip of a lifetime to Arizona with the Oilers Nation crew, February 18th to 20th. Flights, hotel, hockey, and the time of their life included. Maybe you're already in Phoenix. Maybe you're somewhere else and you go, I want to hang out with the Oilers Nation crew and go to Mullet Arena with the guys. Well, we're now offering a no flight option for $9.99. If you want to book your own flights, you can still join us down in Phoenix.
I bet Shohei is using Alberta Blue Cross to get here.
Probably.
Of course.
Probably.
When we're in the air, do you think there'll be 3,000 people watching our flight?
Yeah,
Probably.
At least.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Arguably.
Hot and cold performers. BM has his buttons ready to go.
I'm ready for you, boys.
As we do, we will start with our veggies, and I will go down to the other side of the room and hit up Dan for his cold performer.
My cold performer, I don't know. I was gonna do one. I had it locked and loaded, but now I'm kind of backing off because I don't want to be too negative right now. I think it's a great time to be an Edmonton Oilers fan. We're back in the win column, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to defer and not take a cold performer of the week this week.
Too positive. I actually kind of dig that.
They are
Liam?
just fucking ass right now.
I'll gladly give one. Waking up, I think it was yesterday, and just seeing the snow was not a good surprise. And on top
How
of
is it
that,
a surprise? It's December something.
because I just didn't. I don't know. I just
Also, that's
so unexpected.
Not considered snow for us.
There was a lot of snow yesterday morning.
I wouldn't say a
figured.
lot.
Oh, there was a lot of snow. Trust me, I saw it. And also, it took me 2.5 hours to get back from Panoka the other day because of the weather. So, shout out weather.
I'm upset.
Goddamn right.
I
Alfred.
did probably 10 minutes on Better Late Than Never on Wednesday about how happy I was that there was no snow, only to go to bed and wake up to
Snow.
Yeah,
Wasn't in the forecast.
didn't age well.
BM, cold performer.
My cold performer of the week probably is this podcast, to be honest. A little disjointed, a little shitty.
big day.
Arguably distracted.
Weird one today. It's
Wonder
like-
why.
I mean, if you're a big fan of O&R, and like this is something you look forward to on a Friday afternoon, you're like, the boys are going to break down the Minnesota Wild game tonight, and they're going to have things and topics and to-dos and all that. This one wasn't for you, and I apologize. So I'm going to give all of us, well, specifically a few of us, the cold performer of the week.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Even ONE today had a lot of Ohtani, and Jay and I played a
gonna happen.
flag game live on the air, which probably wasn't great.
Content has been great today. Rick, cold performer.
Well, this week I've been an Uber guy. I've had my Jeep in getting the clutch fixed, so I've been taking Ubers everywhere. And this is nothing bad against them, but it's just some place where they can improve. You got to be a little more proactive in your driving, maybe a little more aggressive. You're driving down the right-hand side of Jasper Ave. You know there's buses. You know there's cars coming out. Stick out of that lane. You're in the left lane, but you know there's a left-hand turn coming up, and a lot of cars hit that lane. Then that turn lane pushes the left lane back. Sometimes you got to kick it over to the right. You got to know where you're going. You got to know how to handle the traffic very well. That's all.
I can't believe it!
That's a hot performer.
Why are you the way that you are? I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
I'm rewatching The Office again.
Yeah.
I gotta get.
And if you haven't seen it in a while, just some of the early seasons, like I'm on season 2 right now, are just so fucking funny. That show was so good. Anyway,
my cold performer of the week, it kind of touched on a little bit there by Rick, but I'm just going to say every year we get our first snowfall, and every year the roads are a disaster. Even if it's not that bad, it's a shit show out there. People, you know what this is like. You were driving on these roads 7 months ago in the winter. It's the same thing. My cold performer are the people who it snows a little, maybe the roads get a hair slick, and they act like they've never had to do it before.
Oh, that's cold.
You know, the person who's just like, you're on a main road, it's clear and it's dry, but they're going like 30 for some reason. It's a 60, and you're like, hey, you're going to cause an accident, big guy.
Or in the reverse, people are kind of like pacing themselves when it's a little greasy, and then you have some dude, some hardo fucking flying right past you.
And all of it. Like, just drive like sane human beings.
Just
please.
drive for the temperatures.
Drive for the conditions.
Drive for the conditioners is what I meant. Not
Hot performer of the week. We'll switch up the order a little bit. I'll go to you first, Rick. What do you got?
Well, hockey's a team game, so I'm giving it to the entire team because every aspect of this team, I believe, is going in the positive direction. It's led us to 5 in a row and 8 out of 11, I think, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon. So this is the entire team.
I like this right here.
BM.
Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
baby.
I'm waiting for the official contract, but I have got a jersey built in the MLB store that as soon as I see his handsome face signing that contract on TV, that order is being completed. And I assume he's going to wear 17. Sorry, Jose Barrios, but you're probably going to get a Rolex or an Island or a Ferrari or something.
Yeah, like 3 Ferraris.
I think you'll be okay. So Shohei, today was just been fun. I don't know that I've seen the Canadian sports internet united in a way that today was. So Shohei watch, Ohtani watch, Shohei Ohtani, hot performer of the week.
There's still some people out there who are very upset about this on this side of the border, but they've always been Expos fans, so they hate everything Toronto does.
Fair enough. Liam, hot performer of the week.
Hot performer of the week. Yeah, I can't really think of one. So I'll say I was at a hockey showcase last night that I'll be going to again this weekend. And it's always funny to see who the coaches can be. So yesterday I saw Jerome McGinley, Kyle Chipchera, and
former teammate of mine, Kyle Chipchera,
and friend of the nation, Laddie Schmid, was there. He's not coaching, but he coaches the Oil Kings, and he was scouting. So it's kind of funny to see those.
Get some contacts. Get these guys on the show.
No, I just stand at the other side of the rink and gulp.
Boston Bruin legend Jerome McGinley.
Yep.
Pittsburgh Penguin legend Jerome McGinley. I don't know any
Avalanche.
other. I don't know any other team he played for.
The big guy is smoking hot.
Dano, what do you got?
I'm just going to give it out to a little bit of light content that came out this week. Vasilevsky was doing a post-game press conference after getting a shout out. And he just let one rip on the air.
Was it him?
Just smiled through it. Nobody's confirmed it.
And it was a reporter, so I really don't know.
Nobody's confirmed it, but his reactions, his mannerisms, it felt like a man a little bit lighter afterwards. So Vasilevsky gets my hot performer of the week.
He's a hot guy.
His face kind of drooped a bit.
No, he was happy. He was relieved.
Doesn't matter what age you are.
Yep.
Nothing unites a room of dudes like a good fart.
Or gets everyone away from you on the Aqua dance floor.
Also true. Also,
those reporters are lucky Ohtani doesn't have a little Uremchuk ability in him.
Yeah,
that wasn't a fart.
That was bioterrorism. Look at it. I know everyone. People are gonna be sitting there saying, "Oh, you're being a little over the top here." No, I promise you, I'm not being over the top.
And the look of pride on his face too. Just the worst part about it.
All right, my hot performer of the week is going to go to Ross Atkins. This would be like if Ken Holland were to somehow magically come out right now and be like, I've signed Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl to matching lifetime contracts. And it's like, oh, all your mistakes are forgiven. Thanks, Ken. Like Ross Atkins, I wanted him fired 3 weeks ago. I am now ready for his statue to be built outside Rogers Center if this happens. Unreal. Ross Atkins, top performer of the week.
Cash money. Put some respect on my name.
What's wrong with it?
Our microphone stool is not as balanced as we
Tyler
as it
and I
once was.
literally cannot move during the show.
No, we can't. We're stuck. All right, there you go, everybody. A wrap on an Ohtani Oilers podcast, which is I know what you all wanted.
Listen.
Oh my God.
Listen. It's not every day something like this happens.
Quite
it's
literally,
fun.
it's not every
And
lifetime.
the fun part about it with the Blue Jays too is that they're kind of neutral gang territory in this country where, like, if you go down and you have like an Oilers, if you go down to Calgary, right, and you've got an Oilers hat on, people will go be like, "Oh, fuck you, Oilers!" Like, it's fun part of the Battle of Alberta. But you can go literally anywhere in this country with a Jays hat on, and I was just like, Jays, Ohtani, let's ball.
Montreal, maybe not.
Well, they don't count.
Who cares?
They're still holding on to the Expos.
Yep. Listen, as the French guy on this podcast, Quebec doesn't count.
All right.
Thank you.
That is a wrap. Shout out to Alberta Blue Cross. The new collections dropping at Nation Gear, Wendy's, DoorDash, and our friends at Greta will be back on Tuesday when the Oilers could potentially be on a 7-game heater. Let's hope that happens. Chat with everybody then. What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.